Mahon is an artist from the South Island of New Zealand who was the winner of the coveted 2000 and 2008 New Zealand Overall Gold Guitar Award. She was also one half of country music duo The Heartleys, releasing 2 albums. This year, she has been working on a new solo album, and from it comes the new single Love's Got a Witness. So there's a bit to ask her about. Hello, Kayla.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And I'm actually going to take you to the start of your musical life, because I always like, when I'm interviewing someone for the first time, I like finding out what their musical development has been. It's always interesting. So when did you get your start in music? Was it as a child playing an instrument or singing or something similar?
Yes, I started very, very young. So my granddad, my late granddad, and my late nana, they were country music singers, and granddad would sing with his guitar and yodel, sing Slim Dusty and all the old classics. And they used to be in a country band, and watching him sing in his house and having sort of like jams at home was very influential for me. And my mum also played records all the time, country music. So I didn't really have anything else I wanted to do. It was just them. Yeah, definitely. And I started singing on stage when I was 4.
All right. Was it with them that you started singing?
Not with them. I went to my local Gore country music club, where my mum had been to the gold guitars many times, and she just thought going there would be the best place for me to learn. Right. And yeah, of course, I had my grandparents there supporting me, and yeah, so it's been quite the journey.
When you were younger, did you think that country music was the only kind of music, given how surrounded you were by it?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. My dad also liked country, but as I grew up, one of my older sisters really loved rock. Right. So it was this time I was singing, and she went along and she had her earphones on with rock music on because she wasn't into country music. She's not like that now, but I must say I've pretty much been in a country box most of my life. Yeah.
So given that you were exposed to Slim Dusty earlier, do you think that his style of song, or Joy McKean's style of song, has been influential on you generally, or as you started to grow up, did you branch out from what your grandparents and your parents were listening to?
Yes, I was really lucky. I love traditional country, and I do find even when I write songs, I too lean to more traditional country. So it's good to write with sort of pop writers. But in saying that, yeah, my mum got this catalogue years ago, and she used to get 1 CD in a month from the States for me to listen to as a kid. So like Martina McBride, Patty Loveless, and all those classic 90s stars. And that's how we got our music, because we couldn't get it anywhere else in New Zealand, none of the stores. So if it wasn't for mum bringing in 1 CD a month for me, I don't know where I'd be with my country music.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say it's good to write with pop songwriters, because pop music writers. I'm guessing it's because you like that melodic hook of pop music. But is it something that you found when you were writing songs as you were younger that it just wasn't your natural inclination to write in that direction, or it's just something you think, well, you've got your core competencies and those people have theirs, and it's good just to mix things up?
It's been really good for me over this last year to write with a writer, Ryan Solstad, because it's got me out of my comfort zone with writing. I like story, and I love to really connect, but I found that my writing was quite traditional, and I wanted some of my songs to be more punchy and more current and more modern and more, yeah, I just wanted to play around with it more. So writing with other people has grown my skills, which has been great.
Yeah. So when you first wrote songs as a younger person, were you mainly writing alone, or because you were part of that country music club, was songwriting a part of that as well, so you could write with other people?
It wasn't really when I was younger. I just picked up a pen and started writing, and I wrote my first song when I was 14. And I was in my bedroom, and I came out to mum, and I sang it and I cried, and I sang it and I cried. And it was about my mum passing. And I think it wasn't in a fear as a child that I would lose my mum, because no one wants to lose their mum. So I wrote this song, and I actually ended up winning the gold guitars with it as a 14-year-old. So that's when my journey started. And I just kept writing by myself until later on when I got to write with others.
That's a big theme to tackle for an early song, and especially for that age. It's understandable, because as you said, no kid wants to lose their mum, but It's no wonder you were crying as you were performing it for her.
Yeah, I could barely get it out, but I just know that my mum was such a key person in my life, and she was my everything at 14. So I guess I don't know why I wrote that, but it was, she left my mum and dad, and she left my dad, and then she ended up dying in the song, and I was like, why did I write a song like that? But it was just really heartfelt, felt like mum will always, in the song, mum will always be there and please forgive me, it was called. And I don't know where it came from, but I just think it was from a fear, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What sorts of songs you were listening to around that time? Do you think, teenagers have a lot of angst? We all do when we're teens. Do you think it was just that you were listening to a few songs that had some heavier themes, or that's your natural interest?
Oh, probably. I connected to songs a lot as a kid. Like, all the lyric meant a lot to me, and that connection and that real heart-wrenching stuff. So Martina McBride for me was probably the big one. Yeah, it just really hit me. And I think I just wanted to write a song that people could connect to. And that was always been my aim to write, is if I'm able to make someone feel an emotion when I sing, then I'm doing my job.
Right. Now, you mentioned this country music club, and they are around the place. Obviously in New Zealand, there are a few in Australia. I'm guessing that it's sort of like professional development almost from quite a young age, because there's no doubt a structure there, and you have performances you have to put on. Did it feel like that, like you were being trained?
Oh, absolutely. Every 4 weeks I'd have a brand new song. My mum would be out with her sewing kit, sewing all my sequences on. It was a major thing in my life growing up, making sure I was ready to perform every single month. And it was one of the biggest things that kept me going and gave me that drive to want to sing. So the country music clubs played a huge part of my life, and also my daughter and 7 nieces all sing, and I teach them music, and we all still go to the Gore Country Music Club to grow their art and their skills. It's really cool. Yeah.
So your daughter and 7 nieces. So that's pretty much, I think that's the size of the Von Trapp family, 8 children.
Yeah.
So, they got their own group, yes?
Yeah, they're called Holton Heart, and I have been teaching them for a long time. The oldest is 16 and the youngest is 6, and they're going to do their first recording in the new year. They've been writing songs, and they just love music, and it's very, very special to have such a big family. And they all sing, they do harmony, play bass, guitar, ukulele, everything. So just watch the space for them.
Yeah. It must be hugely rewarding to see that happen through, like, the generational torch being passed, I guess, for music, and for you to know that you've no doubt had an influence on your daughter and on your nieces in this.
It's been a huge part of my music. I'm actually a music teacher 2 days a week, and I've been doing that for about 12 years. So being able to see my family blossom in music is just so rewarding. It builds their confidence. It gives them, I don't know, just so much passion. And I'm just so thankful I can pass on the gifts that I have to make them feel like they're somebody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really cool.
When you were a child performing every month, as you said, having to get that new song every month, was it something you looked forward to, or were you a little bit scared, or maybe both at the same time?
I wasn't scared. I just wanted to sing, and I would sing for anyone. I would sing anywhere and everywhere because I just loved it. I just want to sing and always wanted to sing. Yeah. Yeah,
right. And we've mentioned Martina McBride and some other artists. Were there any New Zealand artists growing up, apart from the people who were around you in the country music club, but any New Zealand artists of any genre whom you liked?
Well, it was definitely Suzanne Prentice. She was a huge idol to me. I used to sing every word of her CDs when I was a kid. And my first performance at club was singing one of her songs with a tape recorder. And it was very special. When I was about 12 years old, I got to sing on a show with her. So that was such an honor and such a cool thing when you're 12 years old. So definitely Suzanne Prentice.
Yeah, that's fantastic. When did you form the Heartleys?
So the Heartleys was formed when I was about 23, and Taylor's dad was my music teacher for about 9 years. So I knew Taylor for a long, long time. And yeah, we formed the Heartleys, and it was such a really cool time in my music career to have some fun, do some traveling together, and just write about what we knew then. So my writing now is completely different, but that just is because we're aging, and I've got family and a husband, whereas then it was more, a bit of a free spirit.
Yeah. But it must be pretty cool as well to have a document of that part of your life.
Oh, it's really cool. I wouldn't change it for anything. And I'm really excited now to be able to do me though. Like I've done the duo, and I feel like I've got a story to tell now as an adult, as a mum, as a teacher, as we all see how tough it can be in people's lives, and and good things in people's lives. So yeah, my whole music now I feel like is a really truly me right now.
Yeah. And you have spent some time in Nashville this year working on this new music. When you went over, was it with the intention of creating an album?
It wasn't for a start. I wrote a song, and then I wrote another one and another one. I was like, oh, I really love these songs, and I think I need to make an album or an EP or something. So I went over, and I've got quite a few songs that I've done. And yeah, I'm just gonna look at seeing how I release those in the new year. But I'll definitely, hopefully, get another single out before the end of this year. I'd really like to keep the boat rolling a bit.
Yeah, because it is a big commitment. Because as you said, you have a child, you've got a household to run, you have work. How far in advance did you have to plan that Nashville trip so that you could carve out that time and do it?
I think it was about 8 months. Once I thought, right, I need to do this. So yeah, quite a bit of planning. Not only do I do my music, I'm also a nurse. So
Oh wow.
I have to balance working at the hospital, teaching music, doing music, and being a mum. So putting all that together to get to Nashville was a big task, but it was absolutely worth it. But yeah, a lot to plan.
Yeah, well, being a nurse was not in your bio, Kayla. So
Oh,
so
no, it's not.
that's a lot of there's a lot of work to juggle and a lot of time to organize off, I guess. But the good thing about nursing, I suppose, is it's shift work. So hopefully you can arrange it around other things.
Yeah, the shift work is pretty handy, and it's also another inspiring part of my writing. One of my songs is about end of life, and waiting for those angels to let you come and say goodbye. So yeah, nursing's got a big part of my sort of writing as well.
Yeah, and I guess also an understanding of what is important to people, and I don't think it's tried to say it because it is really easy to lose sight of what is important unless you are in an environment where you are around people who are at end of life or contemplating end of life, even if it's not near. So for you as a songwriter, has that influenced the sorts of things you're interested in writing about now?
Yes, absolutely. One of my songs on the record is to do with my nursing, and I've also written other songs about it in the past as well. So yeah, a lot of moments in nursing is very honorable, and it's sad, but it's just a moment in time sometimes where you just feel like the clock has stopped.
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely part of my writing. Yeah, is to get those emotions through. Definitely.
Do you also find that music is a bit of a balance for you because that's such a high pressure job that given that you've always loved performing, you can then have that time to just, I suppose nursing, you have to be really present because obviously people's lives are in your hands and you have to be right there. But performing, writing, even practicing your instrument can be a different kind of just being present.
Absolutely. I feel like it's just that chance for me to be creative and to let go. And when I do teach music to kids and to adults and pick up my guitar, it doesn't feel like a job. So I feel like I've got the perfect balance between working as a nurse and doing the music and yeah, being a mum, I think I've got a great balance and I'm so thankful for that.
Well, you certainly look fairly relaxed, so I imagine that you've worked out how to do it all because it's a lot to manage. But when did you write this new single, Love's Got a Witness?
So I wrote this one at the start of the year. One of my good friends had just turned 30 and she hadn't been in love before or even had a boyfriend. And she'd met this fellow online, which was really cool. And she started dating him. And she used to come to see me and goes, oh, should I be feeling like this? And she's going all red in the face and, butterflies in her tummy. And the way she was talking about him, she just lit up. And I just wanted to capture a song with that. Like, I could see her falling in love, but she didn't know she was. So in Love's Got a Witness, I am the witness. Because I've been in love and been married, and that's how that song came about. So it was really cool to get that title, Love's Got a Witness, which is me. And a couple of weeks ago, she actually got engaged to her fiance in Australia. So it was like true love story.
Yeah, and a song documenting it, which I hope they play at their wedding.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I hope they do.
Or maybe ask you to play it at the wedding.
Yeah, well, I think I'll be at the wedding, but maybe I might have to write another one for her as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned when you got to Nashville, you started writing and then more songs appeared. Did you write more than you needed for an album? So actually you've got a few tucked away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's really fun. So when I put on shows, it's great to bring out those other songs that didn't get released, but it's good to sing them as well because they might be something I might want to do later by, getting to hear what people say about the songs. So it's actually great to have more than what you need because you can play around with those songs so much. It's cool.
And now that you're working as a solo artist, you're used to being in a duo, did you have to recalibrate your stage performance and the amount of energy you expend, I guess, because when there's two of you, you can share that energetic load?
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad really because I'm quite energetic on the stage when I want to be. I don't feel shy about that. So I'm pretty lucky in that way. But one thing is I do like to share the stage. Just being there on my own, it's not that fun for me. So if I've got two other players with me or one player, I prefer that than just sitting there by myself because then you can feed off each other and have some fun. And I love harmonies.
Yeah. So I imagine as you look ahead to releasing more music and an album in some point in the future, you would think about touring, no doubt about New Zealand. So then that's another thing you're going to have to plan a fair way in advance.
Absolutely. I'm thinking about that now, even though I'm just dipping my feet in the water right now. I'm like, oh, no, I need to start looking at some venues down here in New Zealand and just have to, get onto it fairly quickly.
Yeah. And if someone were to visit Gore and wanted to see some country music or see you play, where does a person go for live music?
For live music, well, Gore doesn't seem to have a lot going on when it comes to live music. So probably Invercargill or Dunedin has got more live music in Queenstown. But there is the odd show in Gore and they do put on some great things. And I'm going to be doing a show there in a few weeks, which I hope will go well. And I'm looking forward to singing to my fans and family and that. So it'll be really cool.
Has your daughter ever seen you perform as a solo artist?
Yeah, absolutely. That's all she's ever known because she's only 10 and my duo years were over before she was born. So she's been on the journey and she pops along to my radio interviews and she's just a little pro. It's hilarious.
Well, how cool for her, really. I know there's a point at which kids probably think that nothing their parents do is cool, but she's still at the point, it sounds like, where she thinks it's cool.
Yeah, and that she likes me and that I am cool, but I don't know. I wonder when that'll change.
Yeah. Maybe never, especially if she's interested herself. She might think, oh, I need to keep asking mum questions.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool to take her and all my nieces on the journey with me, actually. They're going to open for me in a few weeks. So a lot of it's a real family thing for me as well, not just my experience and my opportunities. It's for everyone in my family. So it's really cool.
And did your grandparents have the opportunity to see you perform?
Absolutely. They were always there, supporting me. And yeah, I miss them a lot. They're a huge part of my music and why I did that. And my grandfather, when he was passing, actually, when he actually sung How Great Thou Art to all of us in the room before he passed, and that was just one of the most amazing moments at that time. And that's what one of my songs has come from, is, you know, he's there singing that for us. And he's just telling us music's a gift. It brings you together, and that's what it does for our family.
Mm-hmm. That's extraordinary, that he could do that, because he must have understood how powerful it would be for all of you present to have that memory of him.
Oh, he's an incredible man, and for him to do that when he was feeling the way he did was just so heroic. Like, he's my hero, and I'll never forget the moment in my life.
Yeah. So you've talked a bit about what music's been for you within your family. I imagine there have been other moments in your life when music has had a huge impact, whether it's just like to change a direction for something or giving you an opportunity.
Absolutely. I have written about all sorts of things. Like, my husband, unfortunately, been a subject matter a few times.
Lucky him. Not unfortunate.
Well, one of the songs I wrote was about him. He actually doesn't like country music, which is hilarious because he's with a country singer and his daughter sings and all his nieces sing country, so he can't get away from it. So yeah, it's funny. So that's one of the subject matters as well. And I've also written about my childhood, and in this record, I'm just trying to think the other songs I've done. I'm writing just about my children. Like, my next single was probably going to be about my son and just how much courage and how fearless he is. And yeah, so I'm very lucky with the family and the friends I've got. They really do inspire my writing.
And is your son showing any signs of being musical?
Yeah, he's funny. He's more into AC/DC with his guitar and his pretend drum kit, but he's funny. He actually sings all the time when he's just walking around. So yeah, he is musical, but I'm not pushing it. Like, he'll do it if he wants to.
So he takes after your sister with her rock music, obviously.
Yeah, I think so. But she's changed quite a bit because her 3 daughters sing country, so she can't help it now.
I love the idea of this country music infiltration of your entire family.
Yeah, I know. It's very funny.
I think there's a documentary in that. Someone needs to get onto that. But
I know. It's, we're all country. It's so funny.
Yeah, your grandparents really set something in train, clearly.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So what sort of music are you listening to now? Obviously country music, but which artists are you enjoying these days?
I love Ashley McBryde. She's probably one of my favorite females, and Alexandra Kay. I've just sort of cottoned on to her lately. I love her voice. So they're probably the 2 main female artists that I listen to at the moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really cool.
Well, Kayla, people can listen to you as a female artist. Your song Love's Got a Witness is out now, and it sounds like there is more coming soon and next year as well. And if people are in the South Island, or on the South Island, I should say, they can look up your show in a few weeks' time. It was great to talk to you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. It's been awesome.